Last spring, the garden center down the road sold me a $40 bottle of transplant fertilizer. The label promised bigger roots, stronger plants, and a harvest the neighbors would envy. The label also failed to mention that everything inside that bottle was already sitting in my kitchen trash. I planted 12 tomato seedlings. 6 got the expensive bottle, 6 got 3 free kitchen scraps layered in a specific order. By day 7, the difference was so dramatic, I dug both up to photograph the roots side by side. The plants on the free scraps had colonized 3 times the soil volume. But here is the part the garden industry really does not want you to know. The order I layered those scraps in is what made it work. Reverse the order, and the plant actually does worse than nothing. We are going to cover the exact sequence, the quantity per plant, and the science behind why this beats anything sold in a bottle. Walk into any nursery this spring, and someone in a green apron will steer you toward the fertilizer aisle. They will hand you a bottle covered in pictures of impossibly red tomatoes. They will tell you that transplants need a specialized formula. They will not tell you what is actually in the bottle. Flip it over. Read the label. You will find nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and calcium. Those 4 nutrients are doing the entire job. Now look at your countertop. The banana peel by the toaster is loaded with potassium. The eggshells from breakfast are nearly pure calcium carbonate. The coffee grounds in the filter basket carry nitrogen, plus a microbial payload that no bottle can replicate. You have been throwing the bottle away with the breakfast dishes. The first ingredient is the banana peel, and the rule is 1 peel per planting hole. Chop it into pieces about the size of a quarter. The chopping step matters because intact peels take months to break down, and your plant needs the potassium during the critical first 3 weeks when fruit set is being decided at the genetic level. Potassium drives root cell expansion, and it is also what tells a pepper plant whether to put its energy into leaves or into peppers. A plant starved of potassium produces what gardeners politely call disappointing fruit, while a plant with abundant potassium at the root tip produces tomatoes that crack the gauge at the farm stand. The second ingredient solves blossom end rot before it ever happens, and it is crushed eggshells. 2 to 3 shells per planting hole, crushed to a coarse grind, somewhere between sand and gravel. Do not pulverize them into powder, because powder washes away in the first heavy rain. You want rough edges that release calcium slowly across the entire growing season. Calcium is the structural nutrient that builds cell walls. When a tomato develops that ugly black sunken patch on the bottom, that is calcium deficiency, and it is almost never about the soil running low. It is about calcium being unavailable when the fruit needs it most. Eggshells positioned correctly in the hole solve this for the entire season with no follow-up. The third ingredient is where the layering rules get serious, and it is used coffee grounds. Half a cup per hole. Not a full cup, not 2 cups because you really love your plant, half a cup. Coffee grounds bring nitrogen, organic matter, and a thriving population of soil bacteria that will colonize the root zone within 72 hours. Those bacteria are doing more work than the nutrients themselves, converting raw organic matter into plant-available food on a continuous cycle. But coffee grounds also carry a problem. Concentrated grounds in direct contact with young roots will burn them, and this is where the layering order either saves the plant or kills it. Here is how the hole gets built. Dig your planting hole twice as wide as the root ball and about 4 inches deeper than you would normally dig. That extra depth will hold the layered nutrient package. The first layer, at the very bottom, is crushed eggshells spread across the floor of the hole in an even layer. Calcium needs depth and time. It will not move much, and you want the breakdown happening below the root zone, where roots can grow into it as the season progresses. The second layer is chopped banana peel, dropped directly on top of the eggshells. Potassium releases faster than calcium, and you want it positioned where the developing root tips will encounter it during weeks 2 and 3. Now, here is the critical step. Cover both layers with 2 inches of plain soil. Do not skip this. That soil buffer separates your roots from the third ingredient and prevents the burn risk entirely. The coffee grounds get mixed into the backfill soil itself, not piled in a layer. Take the soil you dug out of the hole, work a half cup of grounds through it until it looks evenly distributed, and use that mixture to fill in around the root ball when you set the transplant. Emphasize even distribution so roots meet nutrients gradually. That is the order. Eggshells deepest, banana peel above, soil buffer in the middle, coffee grounds blended through the backfill. Reverse it and you stunt the plant. Skip the buffer and you burn the roots. Get it right and you have built a slow-release fertilizer system that outperforms anything sold in a bottle. Before we get to the day 7 photos, let me explain why the order matters at the chemistry level, because this is the part that separates this method from every random gardening tip on the internet. Each of these 3 ingredients releases nutrients on a different timeline. Eggshells are the slowest. They need moisture, soil acidity, and microbial activity to break down, and that breakdown can take months. Banana peels are mid-range. Chopped peels release usable potassium within 10 to 14 days. Coffee grounds are the fastest. The nitrogen becomes plant available within 72 hours after being incorporated into moist soil. Now match those timelines to what your transplant actually needs. In the first week, the plant is establishing surface roots and recovering from transplant shock. It needs nitrogen, fast, near the top. Coffee grounds in the backfill deliver exactly that. In weeks 2 and 3, roots are pushing down and out, hunting for resources. They reach the banana peel layer right as the potassium becomes available, and the plant uses that potassium to fuel the explosive root growth that determines the entire season ahead. By weeks 4 through 12, fruit is setting and developing, and the slow drip of calcium from the eggshells positioned at the bottom of the root zone is now being pulled up into the developing fruit, preventing blossom end rot for the rest of the season. The bottle in the garden aisle dumps everything at once, in a form that washes through the soil within 2 weeks. The layered scraps deliver the right nutrient at the right depth at the right time. That is why the roots triple. Speaking of roots tripling, here is what day 7 actually looked like. The control plant was a Roma tomato seedling, 4 weeks old, planted with no amendments. By day 7, when I gently lifted it from the soil, the root ball had expanded about an inch beyond the original transplant plug. White roots, healthy but minimal exploration, standard performance. The treated plant was an identical Roma tomato seedling, same age, same supplier, planted with the layered scrap system. By day 7, the root ball had expanded over 3 inches in every direction. The feeder root density was visibly higher. The roots were bright white, indicating active growth, and several had already wrapped around the eggshell layer at the bottom of the hole. 3 times the soil volume colonized in 1 week, without spending $1. If you find this useful, hit subscribe. New videos drop Tuesday and Saturday, and next week we are tearing down another piece of garden center marketing that is costing you money. Now for the timing details that turn this from good to great. Build your layered hole 24 to 48 hours before you transplant. Water it in once after layering, just enough to settle everything and start the microbial activity. This pre-charges the system, so by the time the seedling goes in, the coffee grounds are already breaking down. The bacterial colonies are establishing, and the soil moisture is even throughout the profile. Plant your transplant into this prepared hole, water deeply once, and then back off. The most common mistake after this point is overwatering, because it leaches nutrients down past the root zone before the plant can use them. Let the top inch of soil dry between waterings during the first 2 weeks. The first feeding cycle reaches the roots on day 3 to 5, and you will see a visible response by day 7. You will see new leaf growth, deeper green color, and stronger stem development. By day 14, the plant should look noticeably ahead of any unamended transplant nearby. Now for the warnings, because there are kitchen scraps that will sabotage this entire system. Citrus peels do not belong in the hole. Orange, lemon, and grapefruit peels are too acidic for most vegetables, and the oils in the peel skin actually inhibit root development in tomatoes and peppers. Onion and garlic skins should also be skipped because they contain antimicrobial compounds that kill the very soil bacteria you are trying to encourage. Composting them at scale is fine, But in a planting hole, they work against you. Meat scraps and dairy never go in the hole because they attract every pest within a quarter mile. They create anaerobic pockets in the soil that go septic, and the breakdown smell will alert raccoons that you have something interesting buried in your garden bed. Avocado pits are also out because the pit is essentially a small piece of wood, and it will still be intact when you pull the plant out at the end of the season. You wasted the whole space. Stick to the 3 ingredients: banana peel, eggshells, and coffee grounds, layered correctly and buffered with soil, and the whole prepared 24 hours ahead. This works strongest on 4 crops. Tomatoes respond most strongly to the calcium component, which is why blossom end rot becomes not an issue. Peppers ride the potassium boost into heavier fruit set during weeks 4 through 6. Squash, which is one of the heaviest feeders in any garden, uses all 3 nutrients heavily during its rapid growth phase. Cucumbers show the fastest visible response, often pushing new growth within 5 days of transplant. A $40 bottle, or 3 free scraps. The garden industry is hoping you never run the comparison. Now you have. Go plant something.